What is up, all of you awesome people? It is the TheMunchBowl here, and today this is a long awaited video. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but I just never got to it. I'm going to be teaching you how you right there can get dreadlocks no matter what hair type you have. Now, one of the biggest things with dreadlocks is hair type. So I'm just going to put up a hair type chart right here, and you can see where your hair lies around. I would say the hair on this hair type chart is about, I would say judging that, it will maybe be about like 5 to 6 inch strand of hair. So that's what each strand on this hair type chart represents, a 6-inch strand of hair. Now I'll get all into the hair type stuff later, but I'm going to start out with the methods. One of those methods being crochet hooking your dreadlocks. Now these are called instant dreadlocks because it does exactly what it's called, is instant dreadlocks. If you don't know what a crochet hook is, it is this thing right here. It comes in different sizes, but it's best to get a small one. I don't really know what size this is. You can get these at like Walmart in like a knitting section. All you need to do is get a section of hair that you want to be in the dreadlock. You want to twist it up, and then in that twisted pattern you want to go in and, you know, just put it through the dreadlock, and amazingly it locks up your hair instantly. You don't have to wait through the locking process or anything, you just have dreadlocks already. And this works for all hair types, so no matter what hair type you have, this crochet hook method works. It's called instant dreadlocks. Another method to get dreadlocks is a highly popular method, and it is twisting with gel. Now you can twist with any gel, but you know, Jamaican mango and lime locking gel, this is just personally my favorite. I don't think you necessarily have to use a locking gel, but locking gel is specifically made for dreadlocks and, you know, starting dreadlocks off. And just so you know, locking gel doesn't lock up your hair, it just forms your hair. Basically, if you don't know how to do this, then you would just want to get a tiny bit on your finger like this, or you could even do it with like comb coils or something. You could like twist your hair with a comb, or you could just twist it with your hands. But this makes sure that your dreadlocks look really clean and really nice and cylindrical, and it's overall just a really clean look. So if you're going for a clean dreadlock look, you want to use locking gel and the twisting with gel method. But a disclaimer is this method only works for hair types from possibly 3B, but for sure it works from hair types 3C to 4C. So it works for the more coarse hair types. But yeah, it's a very amazing method. If you were looking for locking gel, this is an amazing locking gel to use. But the next method is also a like really highly used method, and it is towel rub or sponge rub. Now this is the method that I use, so of course I like it the best. It's so like nostalgic thinking about it, because I remember I just used to go ham every single day trying to get dreadlocks, and I got them. But basically you want to use a microfiber towel. If you don't know what a microfiber towel is, it's like this. It's a really soft, you can see the texture on it. You would know it's a microfiber towel by the texture. But you just want to like take it and fold it up or something and just rub it all over your head. And once you see the dreadlocks start forming, that's how you know it's working. But personally, I think the sponge just works way better. I feel like it forms the twists way faster. Well, a lot of people do have just some random towels laying around the house, so I guess this can be free to a lot of people, or this isn't necessarily free. But I got this for like $7, so it's not that expensive. Me personally, I sponged my hair for about 10. I usually did it for like, I'm not gonna lie, like 30 minutes a day, but you don't have to. I was just really trying to form my dreads really quick, so that's why I did it for so long. But yeah, you just do it in a clockwise motion or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter, but just make sure you stay twisting in that way, because if you don't, if you go the other way, then it will just untwist your dreads. So make sure you go the same way all the way throughout your head. And this method is kind of called semi-freeform. This was like the thing I used to start out my hair. I can show you a few pictures right here, and that's how my hair was looking and stuff. And yeah, I really like those stages of my hair, but then I, you know, used the twisting with gel method, and now they're laying down and stuff. But I can explain all that in another video if you want. But another disclaimer, this method, the towel rub and sponge rub method, only works for, you know, the coarser hair types, which are possibly 3B, but for sure 3C to 4C. And the reason I say possibly 3B is because it's kind of borderline. Still, I feel like it'll pretty much work for that hair type as well. And it'll give you kind of a freeform dreadlock look, which leads me on to the next method, which is freeform. Freeforming isn't, a lot of people have the misconception that sponging your hair is freeforming. That's not freeforming, that's semi-freeforming. Or if you want to get technical with it, if you start your hair out with like twisting it, it's not Freeform. Freeform is when you just do nothing but wash your hair. You don't pick it out, you don't put any product in it, you just wash your hair, get out of the shower, and just it forms into dreadlocks. And yeah, it can get pretty out of hand or pretty crazy, but a lot of people like that style, and I personally like it. I'm not bold enough to do that to my hair, but I really do like that style. But I wanted to have more control over my hair and more control on how it formed, so that's why I did the sponge rub method, which gives you that freeform look, but you could basically make your dreadlocks look however you want them. Like if you want to twist them or separate them, you can do that. With Freeform, you just let them do whatever they want to do. And this method works only for hair types 3B to 4C. So yeah, in a way, it's almost easier for people with coarser hair types to get dreadlocks. But don't worry, there are methods for people with straight hair as well. Don't worry. That's what I'm going to get into right now. If you have straight hair, you could do this method. It's called back combing. Say this was a comb. You would take like a section of hair that you would want to be in a dreadlock, and you would comb it back. And you comb it back all the way until it starts clumping up, and then you would palm roll it, which means you would take the section of hair and just roll it between your palms to, you know, get it nice and dense. And then you keep on back combing, and eventually it'll form dreadlocks. You can take this as well and put it through your dreadlocks, and it will lock up better, and yeah, it would basically just lock up better. And this method works for hair types 1, 2, 3A, and I consider that maybe the straight hair range, even though it technically isn't straight hair. I just call these straight hair dreadlock methods. And another straight hair dreadlock method is twist and rip, which is where you get a section of hair, you twist it together. I'm just going to demonstrate it for you all. You twist it together, pretend my hair was straight and not in dreadlocks. You just get a section of hair, twist it together, and when you're at the tips of your hair, you split it, you rip it down the middle, and you just keep on twisting it, and ripping it, and eventually you'll form dreadlocks. And like I said, for a straight hair method, you can actually use this and crochet needle it in to make it more dense and to, you know, make it look more like a dreadlock. So I highly recommend this, not just as a method to get dreadlocks, but to help form your dreadlocks as well. And some people argue that people with straight hair can freeform their hair, which yeah, that's true, but it will just look very clumped up, and you can't really, it won't really look how you want it to look, you know. There's also another method. You could 2-strand twist your hair, which if you don't know what 2-strand twists are, you get, let me just get my hair out of the way. You just twist them together like that. I'll just show y'all what it looks like when I'm finished twisting them together. And you see there is kind of like a split at the end, so you could put a rubber band right here to close that off. And you can use locking gel with this as well. It'll work, you know, it'll actually work really good. And there's 2 ways you could go with this method. You can either leave all your hair in these 2-strand twists, or you can separate your hair after a little while and let those strands just lock up by themselves. Which I know I'm showing all these methods with my dreadlocks, but obviously these methods work with, you know, just your natural hair outside of dreadlocks. I'm just doing it with dreadlocks because I have dreadlocks already. I'm trying to show y'all how y'all can do it. So 2 ways you can use the 2-strand twist method. You can either leave the 2-strand twists in and let them lock up together like that, or you can separate the 2-strand twists and let those single strands lock up. And with all these methods, you want to wash your hair. And the times of locking up your hair may vary. With instant dreadlocks, it takes no time for your hair to lock up because it's literally locked up already because you're getting instant dreadlocks. With the locking gel, with the twisting with gel method, I have a dreadlock that is twisted with gel, and I combed it out a few months ago, and it's now locking up, and it's been about like 3 or 4 months. So I'll say that method starts to lock up in about 3 to 4 months. Freeform starts to lock around 3 to 4 months. Sponging your hair starts to lock up around 3 to 4 months. Basically everything starts locking around 3 to 4 months basically, except for the straight hair methods. The good thing about the straight hair methods are you actually have instant dreadlocks. You don't have to wait for your hair to lock up. I recommend in the earlier stages, for like the first 5 months, you would wash your hair about once a week, because washing your hair actually helps with the locking process. But if you wash it too much, then your hair can poof up, you know, in the earlier stages when it doesn't need to. So yeah, just thank y'all so much for watching this video. If I liked it, please make sure I like this video. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, please make sure to subscribe. I Dreadlock channel basically. I mean, I do more than dreadlocks, but that's, you know, that's my fan base. My fan base is people, you know, wanting to get dreadlocks and interested in dreadlocks and stuff. And leave down in the comments if you're starting them, or when you started your dreadlocks, or how far in the dreadlock journey you are. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.